I am here with a little recording. I'm going to show y'all my exact process for going through and coming up with unlimited content ideas. This is going to be my exact process. I literally just did this yesterday, so I'm going to show you the exact process I went through to come up with a shit ton of content ideas, because I know that's a very big struggle that a lot of people are dealing with. There are a lot of people who just don't know what content to create as far as when it comes to social media, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. They have no idea what content to make. So I'm going to show y'all my exact process, exactly what I do so that I can come up with unlimited content ideas. So I'm gonna show you the exact tools I use and the exact process I go through, right? It's very simple. It doesn't take a long time. Before that, if you don't know who I am, my name is Marvell. I'm a personal branding and content strategist. I help creators and entrepreneurs grow their brand and get more clients using content and social media. But yeah, let's hop right into it. The reason I'm making this video is because one of the biggest problems I've seen just from clients I've talked to, studying comments, doing like research, one of the biggest issues I've seen is that there's a lot of people who just don't know what content they should be creating or what content they can create. And I think a lot of that comes down to not understanding where content fits into the strategy, why you should be posting the content in the first place. There's a lot of people who are just posting content for the sake of posting it. They just want to make sure they're staying in front of people because that's what the gurus are telling them. That's what everybody's saying. It's like, you need to be in front of people. You need to be posting daily, 2 times a day if you can, things like that. But if you're posting without any purpose, if you don't have a reason or a goal for the content, then generally speaking, your content is just being put out there. So it's like really hit or miss. And if you don't have a goal or if you don't have a purpose, you don't have any direction. You don't know what's the reason you're posting this. What's the reason to be posting something? A lot of people are just posting because they know they need to post and not because the content is serving a purpose. It's not doing its job. So a lot of times people just end up posting the same things or just posting pictures of their products or videos of their products or services, but not actually posting anything that is of value or that really moves the needle and helps them in any way. And because of that, like when you go to brainstorm or something, when you try to come up with ideas, you don't even know like what ideas you should be coming up with. You don't know what content you should be putting out. You're just looking at what everybody else does and kind of trying to imitate or mimic or use some of that to your advantage. So I'm gonna give y'all exact breakdown process that I use. So what I think the most important thing for people to understand is that your content is supposed to serve a purpose. Content is a tool. It's a marketing tool. It's meant to get you visibility and get you in front of people, but it's also used strategically to get people to do things. It's also used with the idea that it's going to provide some type of value or information. And it should be guiding your audience and giving them valuable information, helping them deal with problems and pain points that they're dealing with, while also furthering the relationship that you have with that audience. So, for example, I just finished my content generator, right? This is a freebie. It's a lead magnet. It's down in the description. Make sure you go get it because it's very helpful. It's a lot of good information in here. This is my 555 content generator. Helps you come up with a shit ton of content ideas, plus a whole bunch of other stuff that's very helpful. And from the feedback I've gotten, it's very useful. The people have liked it so far. But I just finished this. So in order to promote it, in order to get it out and make sure it reaches the widest audience possible, I'm going to create content that ideally is going to be sending people to this freebie or sending them to go download this, while also creating content that's relevant to this area. So it's all going to be content relevant, right? It's kind of meta, but showing y'all how to create content about a freebie that's about creating content is anyway. So in order to promote this, in order to get the word out about this product, about this freebie, I'm going to create content that's relevant to this freebie. It's relevant to the product that I'm giving out, the product I'm selling, promoting, whatever. So I'm going to create content that's relevant to that, right? All right. So the reason I created this freebie is because people have a problem coming up with content ideas. Hence this video. If you see what I'm doing, you see how it's kind of, so that's the reason, that's the problem. That's the pain point that people are dealing with who would find value in this freebie. They're going to find this helpful. If they don't know what content to create, they don't have time to come up with content ideas, they can't come up with content ideas, whether they have blog or they just aren't feel like they creative like that. This is meant to help those people, right? So I know people are dealing with that problem. So I know that I'm going to be creating content based around that. So what I do from there, first thing I do is I open up a private window and I search for content ideas. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this first place I go. Usually I go to Google. Let's go to Google because most people don't use Bing. Not gonna lie, that's just the default for this browser. So first thing I do is I go to Google, type in content ideas. So what's going to happen is Google's going to do the auto suggest. It's this lets me know what other people are searching for when it comes to content ideas. So I'm gonna keep track of all of these. And what I do is I put them into my Notion, to my little notes app, whatever, and then I just start keeping track of the content ideas. And since these are all 4, I just kind of like put a comma after those. Instagram, YouTube. Not gonna focus on OnlyFans right now, although that probably would be a good niche for somebody to work on. Content ideation, which probably isn't a something that's searched for highly, but it is one of the keywords. So content idea generator, content. And there's a reason I'm writing these down and keeping them in my notes. I'll show you, I'm gonna get to that in a second. So as you can see already, you see words like unlimited content ideas for social media, new content ideas, content generator. How do I find how to create new content, how to create great content? And see, you see all of that. A lot of that is relevant in the words that I use for the freebies. Content generator, people are looking for how to generate content ideas. Guide for unlimited content ideas, people are looking for unlimited content ideas. You see how I literally created a freebie or a guide that's going to solve the exact problem that people have and made it very clear that this solves that problem. Right now, in order to get people to get to that, I got to create content that lets people know I have something that solves that problem. Does that make sense? I hope that's lining up. So after I go to Google, I go to YouTube. I'm doing this with like all free tools because I don't want people to feel like they need to pay or like whatever to figure this stuff out, because we really shouldn't be. I prefer to use a private window just to make sure the information is new and fresh or whatever. So ignore this side because I'll talk about that in a second. Ignore that. So this is going to be the same thing. So Google and YouTube both are search engines, so it's gonna show the suggested result based off what other people are searching for. Okay, but as you can see, a lot of the stuff is the same. There's a couple different ones, so that's what's there. Without showing your face is a big one. So then I'm also gonna search for that. I'm gonna search for content ideas, and then we're gonna see what other videos people have created based on that. So never run out of content ideas. Video ideas, content ideas. If your camera shy, turn out your content for the rest of the year. See, that's good, but that would be more focused towards people who are looking to plan out their content. If I don't have any content, I don't want to know how to plan out my content because I haven't figured out what the content to create is. Although she might tell you in that video, this is how I come up with content ideas. She might have a process for that. The title doesn't give me the idea that this is going to help me come up with content ideas, right? 74 YouTube ideas. That will probably do good because that's literally giving you ideas. How to find endless content ideas that works. Great title. How to get YouTube content, and then you see the video endless content ideas on the titles, right? Let's see. So there's a few good ones, but this is a pretty good list right here. So back to this. So where were we? Content ideas, right? So these where to go? So these numbers on the side, right? Those come from a plugin I had called Keywords Everywhere. You can see them over here. It gives you a lot of additional information. Very, very valuable tool. It's a very, very good tool. It's only, $15 for the year or like $20 for the year, I think, just for like the basic package. But it gives you a lot of information and insight. So with this number on the side is showing that this is how much is searched for per month. This is the average that is searched for per month. So about 1,600 people search for content ideas every month. And then as you go down and see, it gets smaller because it gets more specific. So content ideas for YouTube, 170 people. Now these aren't like super high volume keywords, because if you look up something like Instagram itself has 24 million, almost 25 million searches per month. But that can be literally anything. Somebody searching on Instagram for how to log in, somebody searching for tips, tricks like that. Just Instagram itself is very broad. So as you can see, the more specific it is, the less amount of searches per month it usually is. So let's go back to content ideas. Boom, boom, boom. Then you see over here, it's going to show like this is the search volume per month, ranking difficulty. That's good to know because the lower the ranking difficulty, the easier it'll be for your content to show up. That means it's not a super popular or super impacted. Like there's not a lot of people creating content specifically for those keywords. So the more likely your content will be able to show or likely to get shown. So the higher up this number is, if it's closer to like a 90 or 100, that means there's a lot of people creating good content based around that, or just creating content in general based around that keyword, right? Maximum views, average views is 250K. Average age of the video is about a year. Let's see. Let you know the keywords that are in the title. So a lot of people aren't using the actual keywords content ideas, which actually might be good because that might increase your ability to rank for it. Who knows? But they are including them in the keyword description to let you know how many were added in the last 7 days, added in the last 6 weeks. So it's not a lot of people creating content about this now, which is actually really good for me. Then it also lets you know the tags that people use based off this whatchamacallit, this idea. Which you can act, and then with keywords everywhere, you can click this right here, right? Find YouTube keywords, and it's going to bring up a list of all the relevant keywords to that topic, right? Let's see what we got. So you can see it goes by search volume, how many people are searching for it per month. And remember, these are per month. Cost per click, which is if you're running ads, it's big. It lets you know how much it's going to cost to get a click on this. So if I was to run an ad for my content generator, right, and I use the keyword content ideas, it would only cost me 89 cents to get somebody to click on this ad. Ideally, that's what about the average. That's what they're saying. And with Google and YouTube, they have a pay per click ads program where you can run an ad and you only pay for the people that actually click on the ad. So if I'm only paying 89 cents to get somebody to click on the ad and most of them are converting, that's really, really good, especially since it's a free product. You don't want to do something that's going to cost you a lot when you're giving out something free. You don't want to do something that's going to cost you a lot when you're giving out something free. You want to keep the cost per click or the cost to generate a lead. You want to keep that as low as possible. But it's also going to give you a different content ideas. So same things, content ideas, social media content ideas, YouTube content creation, unique content. That's a new one. Real estate content, low content. And some people might be thinking like, oh, it's only 150, 170 people. When you're getting started, you want to focus on those that might be lower. 200, that might be a little low, like in general. But if you're focusing like on content ideas, social media content ideas, things like that, or if you're very niche specific and you really want to focus like only on OnlyFans girls, or if you're only focused on real estate people, or if you're looking for like blogging content, like focusing on those very, very specific ones, those tend to get you better results faster because it's a very specific topic and usually not a lot of competition around it. Let's see, content ideas for beginners. That's a good one. Oh, okay. So yeah, the rest of these are all pretty low, so I don't really focus on those too much. These are good for getting started, right? So I got my content ideas, figured out what people are searching for. Next, I go to Chat GPT. Now, if you don't want to use Chat GPT or some type of tool to help you with this, you don't have to, because you can easily use this to come up with content ideas, whether that's for a YouTube video, a podcast episode, a reel, TikTok, whatever. You have good information about what people are searching for, and if they're searching for it, that means there's interest in it. That people means people are interested in the information. So you could create a reel with 5 tips for coming up with content ideas. You can create a TikTok best content ideas without showing your face, like things like that, to where you're literally just making videos and content in response to what people are already searching for. Since there's already momentum, there's already traffic going to these places because this is what people are looking for. These are the problems that people have that they're trying to solve. All you have to do is create content that's relevant to that, right? So what I do, I take this, and I actually have my own prompt that I created for this. Let's see if I can find it. It should be top. Yep, right here. So basically, it's saying I just did keyword research. I'm going to give you the top results. After that, I need you to help me coming up with content ideas. I'll start by giving you the keywords. It's hella misspellings. I was just writing this. I really didn't care. But this is basically saying I'm giving you the keywords, and I'm going to ask you to help me create content ideas. And when I do this, I use ChatGPT-4. GPT-4 is $20 a month. It's very, like, this is probably my most used tool out of anything. Like, I use this for all my shit. I have my virtual assistant use it to help me do my outlines and like get all my tags and descriptions and stuff. Like, it's probably the most useful tool and has saved me so much time. But yeah, so I'm gonna take keywords I just came up with. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. So let's see what it says. Analyzing keywords is essential first step in content strategy. It covers a variety of aspects from platform-specific ideas to niches like small business and industry. Let's break down what we got. Content ideas for Instagram, YouTube, social media, TikTok. These are all unique. Platform-specific queries. It implies demand for tips, tricks, and ideas uniquely tailored. So it's going to analyze all the keywords you give them and kind of group them together. How to create new content and great content. These are fundamentally about quality and renewal. It's one thing to create content, but it's another to create great and evergreen content. Clothing brands, rappers, musicians, these are niche specific, looking for ideas that resonate with their audience or with their sector without showing your face. How to never run out of content ideas for beginners, right? All right, so it's giving me this information. So next I will go, okay, now I would like you to come help me come up with 10 killer YouTube content ideas that would likely rank high for these keywords. Boom. Now, this is going to give me a bunch of content ideas that I can use or like take as starting points for my own content. So usually what I'll do is I'll take a title or an idea that they come up with, and I'll either make tweaks or remix it to make to where it makes sense or how I like it, and then I add my own insight. So I would take the ultimate guide to content ideation. Never run out of content ideas. And I would write down my process or my tips, strategies, tactics, whatever, for never running out of content ideas. I actually have a video coming up with that. If it's done, I'll probably link it somewhere. I don't know where this box is going to be, but I'll link it somewhere if it's done. So, the ultimate guide to content ideation. Never run out of content ideas. This can be a comprehensive video that covers the methodology, tools for continuous ideation, tackling the keyword how to never run out of content ideas. So it's literally telling you what content ideas are with. It's telling you what keywords it's probably going to rank for. Top 10 Instagram ideas to boost engagement 2023. For that one, it would make more sense to do 2024 now, since that's what we're getting closer to. If this was the beginning of the year, 2023 would make sense. But since we're almost at the end of the year, you want to start getting ahead for the next year. 2024 would make a lot more sense. How to create killer TikTok content without showing your face. Beginner guide, creating your first YouTube video. So for my content generator, right? How to create killer TikTok content without showing your face. My generator isn't geared towards people who don't want to show their face. You can use it if you don't want to show your face, but it's not geared towards them. So that content idea wouldn't make the most sense. But the ultimate guide to never run out of content ideas, that goes perfectly with my guide. So I can make something where I'm giving you this system, this process, these tips, whatever, on how to not run out of content ideas, and then I'll add in, if you want more information, if you want another way to help you run out of not run out of content ideas, or I can even use this as like the guide that I'm showing in that video. I can literally just walk through that guide, which is the video I'm going to do. But we'll talk about that. But anyway, so that would make sense for me to create that content, right? Beginner's guide, creating your first YouTube video, not as relevant. How to create great social media content, that one can work. How to create evergreen content that keeps giving, that one will probably work. 3 must-have content generators for small business owners, that one would really work because I can feature my content generator as one of the top one that you need to have for creating content, right? So I would take whatever ideas I want to use, save them, create outlines, get them recorded, all that. But what about TikTok, Instagram, things like that? So what I'll do for them is give me 10 give me 10 content ideas based on tips, tricks, and hacks, because those tend to be the best performing when it comes to short form content. List tips, tricks, and hacks that would be relevant to that would likely help that will likely be shown that will likely rank based on 10 short form content ideas based on lips. So give me 10 short form content ideas based on lists, tips, tricks, and hacks that would likely rank based on these keywords. And actually, I'm gonna make that even more specific. 10 short form real ideas based on these tips, tricks, and hacks. So, like I said, lists, tips, tricks, hacks, those all perform really well, especially as short form content, because you're giving something actionable, something that's easy to digest, and is quick. It doesn't take a lot of time, right? So, off top, 5 quick hacks to never run out of content ideas. Most people scrolling, if they see 5 quick hacks to never run out of content ideas, most people are going to stop if they have a problem coming up with content ideas, right? Swipe up for engagement, 3 Instagram story tricks. That could work as maybe like a carousel or something. Maybe change the swipe up. Although you could use that because it's different. It's gonna be a pattern interrupt. If you see something that says swipe up, you might stop swiping because it's like, wait, why is it telling me to swipe up? Faceless TikToks, 3 tricks to go viral without ever showing your face. Let's see, quality versus quantity. 1 tip to rule social media. Like a lot of these, the little intro part, I would probably change or like make an adjustment depending on what it is what value or what information I'm gonna provide in the video. 1 hack to triple your social media engagement. The 1 topic that never gets old. Like, these are all cool. They're not the best, but that relevant to these keywords. Let's try this. Relevant to these keywords and people struggling. This is just me being like a perfectionist and looking for like a certain type of shit, but these are already like really good ideas, things that you can use. Let's see what these says. 5-minute content ideation hack. Secret, no face, no problem. So a lot of times I'll take inspiration from what they give me. Like I don't especially these, like I don't always use exactly what they give or take the titles word from word. I'll usually make my own little tweaks based off of what they give. I use these more so as like starting points or inspiration, things like that. Sometimes they come out with really good ones, other times they're not the best and you have to make your own adjustments. But you see, so with all of my short form content, the content I would be creating for TikTok, Reels, like if I was to do any carousels or anything like that, I can use these to create that content. So now I have the idea. This is the idea. I use that to create the content, and then at the end, as my call to action, when I'm asking people to like, yo, follow, subscribe, whatever, I can ask them comment this key phrase or go download my free guide in the bio. Comment this word and I'll send over my free guide to help you never run out of content ideas. Right? So now I'm literally creating content with the idea like, yo, I know the purpose of this content. I know the goal of this content is to get people to download this free guide. So I'm going to address a problem. I'm going to address a pain point. I'm going to solve something with my content, with my short form content, and it should be relevant to to whatever I'm sending them to. It makes sense? I hope that makes sense. What else I got on here? So I would take these, create outlines around them, get them recorded. That's my content. Like, or create it, whatever, create reels, carousels, posts, you can create blog posts, emails, whatever. There's so much you can do with it. And all of that would be focused on going towards my content generator. At least that's what I'm doing right now. If you want to download this, link is down there. I'll put it in there. It's very helpful. There's a lot of good stuff in here. People have found this very useful. Go check it out. Go check it out. Aside from that, yeah, that's all I got. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for stopping by. See you on the next one. All right. Make sure you hit the subscribe and follow and like and all the, you know, the shit you're supposed to do.